Hello everybody and welcome to another pomade review. So the pomade that we're going to be looking at today is J S Sloane's Heavyweight. So in my every pomade that I own video, I said that this was one of the oldest ones that I've had, one of the first water bases I've ever used, and one that I still have because I didn't really use it a whole ton. So it's been sitting in my collection for too long, it's almost gone, and I thought before I finish it off, might as well just review it and tell you my thoughts about it because it has been requested in the past, so I thought, why not? So here we go. So a handful of years ago when I first bought this, the first thing that attracted me to it was the packaging. I do think it is very, very neat. It's got this neato little kind of fake seal on top of it because it's not really connected to anything. But I really liked that, and the kind of more classic style to it, I thought it was great design and great packaging, which is what attracted me to it. And the product on the inside, once again, this was one that was melted in the car in Las Vegas, so it's a little bit messed up, but there it is. It's a pink color, and I really do enjoy the scent on it. I've never been able to really pinpoint what it really smells like, but the closest thing I've got to about what this thing really smells like is I would say it's like a cologne-y, bubblegum-ish mixed with sour candies. That sounds weird, but that's what it smells like to me, and that's what I think it smells like, and I've always liked it. I've always liked the way it smelled, but the performance of the product, I've never really cared for it, so that's why I still have it after all these years. And another one of the most crippling things about it is, I still have a little label what I spent on here, is $17. And I just looked it up now and it's still $17. So it's not cheap. So it's pretty steep. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get to styling. So I'm going to get my hair damp, just because I like to apply it damp. And one thing about this product that I noticed even when I used it years ago was that how it performs, according to how wet your hair is, does change the performance somewhat. I noticed when my hair was like mega damp, if I was like right out of the shower, it gave like zero hold. But if it was completely bone dry, it was like, and it was terrible. So that was one thing initially that I've never really liked about this stuff, is that it is so sensitive to water. I mean, it is water soluble, but you know. Anyway, scoops out really easily, and I've always found that it's kind of fibrous. It does have sort of the feeling of a fiber product, and also it does have a matte shine, but it does have in it little tiny itty bitty microcrystals, so it's not like dead matte. It's just like has the slightest hint of shine to it. But one thing that always like would push me away from this stuff that I never liked, even when I used it years ago, was how absolutely rock hard it stiffens in your hair. And it does not do a very good job of restyling. Whereas some other products that, you know, dry up really stiff and hard, although they'll be kind of like, you know, like hair gel in your hair, at least when you here, as you can see like how fibrous it is. It's like my hands are getting all like gooey, but anyway, at least when you like apply just a little bit of water or maybe a wet comb or something like that, it reacts, so it kind of like reactivates. But this stuff is just like boom, you're done. And it's really hard to restyle. Its restylability just doesn't really work for me with this stuff, and it never really has. Whoa. It never really has, but combing through is just fine. You start to get a little bit of the grip that it has, but like I said, for the most part, it's just, I guess the way I can put it is that it's too much hold for its own good. Where it's this, mind you, this stuff came out in like 2014, and I got it when it first came out, and it came out in a time when water-based products were just exclusively stuff that made your hair hard and could be reactivated with water, and stuff that just made your hair dry. There was none of this really innovative kind of stuff around, and there was just, this. And if a product claimed to be heavyweight and it just makes your hair like, boom, like it's not moving at all, it was kind of doing what it needed to do, but it's really not what I like, and not something that is worth getting, because there are so many better products that do a better job of having a more balanced look, a more balanced product, rather than having something that's just brute force and not in any way balanced. So you can probably see by now that it's just has the tiniest of itty bitty shine, and that's probably because of the microcrystals and because my hair's wet. But once this stuff dries up, it is just matte, and yes, I mean, if there is one positive about this stuff, it is that when you talk about how it's not really moving and not really going anywhere, you could say that it has great resistance. This would be a great product if you, I don't know, maybe we're like going to Disneyland and riding roller coasters and you didn't want your hair moving at all. Or if it was super windy wherever you're going and you didn't want it moving. But, and it would work. But the sad truth of it is that if by some chance you get some mega whirlwind that goes and totally messes up, finds a way to destroy your hair, there was no redemption at all, it's very, very hard to restyle your hair with this product to get it back to the way it was. And overall, I would just say it's largely outdated. And hard to say, even way back when in 2014 when I used it, that it was ever in date, because I just never really cared for it. It's just not the kind of product that I think is worth using. Something that makes your hair so dry, so crusty, but gives it a lot of resistance, but just not, the juice is not worth the squeeze, So that's just largely how I feel about it. I mean, gosh, I'm taking a lot longer than than I usually do with these things, with tweaking my hair, because I want to make sure it looks really, really good, because I know after it hardens up, it's not really going anywhere, and it's not going to be very easy to redo it. Maybe if it's a super hot day like today, and you step outside and it kind of melts it, then perhaps it could be able to be redone. But overall, it's not doing it for me. But anyway, I need to call it here just because I can do off-camera tweaking, So anyway, yeah. All right, final verdict on J S Sloane Heavyweight. Cool packaging. I love the scent, but the performance is lackluster. Yes, it holds your hair very heavily in place. Yes, it does do as advertised for a heavy holding water base, but is it worth the money? I don't think so. You can get other things that can do the same for cheaper, but if you got deep pockets and you really don't care about the price, even still, I think there are just better alternatives. It's the resistance you get is good. To say this thing is all bad, it would not be true. There are definite positives. It has great resistance, good for a hot day, and it does keep your hair looking the same throughout the whole day. It's not gonna go anywhere. But when it comes to making your hair feel natural, making it have a easy flow to it, giving your hair easily giving it a natural shape. Like even mine right now, it's got a weird little kink in it right now, and I'm not gonna bother to try to fix it because I could spend more time on my hair than I'd be willing to. And it's just not all around that appealing. Like I said, if you got deep pockets and you like stuff that's your hair's not gonna go anywhere, sure, you might like it, but no guarantees. It's not the best, and that's just largely what I think about it. So anyway, that is J S Sloane Heavyweight. Thank you so much for watching, and I don't know why you'd want to, but if you are interested in getting J S Sloane Heavy, you can feel free to support me and follow the Amazon affiliates link in the description, and you can pick some up for yourself. I mean, I wouldn't get it by my recommendation, but if there was something in it that intrigued you, then feel free to get it, and you'd be supporting me a great deal. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.